Alrighty, we should be live any second now. Hello everyone, I'm Kevin from Coinsider. It's great to see you all on this fine Thursday. I know I usually do these live streams on the weekend, but this weekend I'm going to be traveling out of town for a quick conference, so I won't be able to do it then. That's why I'm doing it now. Thank you all for joining me. Hello, Alugbenga. Hello, Dave. If you guys can hear me all right, please write in the live chat. As always, you see right here, you see the topics. We're going to talk all about predictions, prices, alt season, cycles, stock to flow models, things like that. And it's going to be a little bit free flowing, right? This is a live stream, so my usual videos are really concise. This is going to be raw thoughts, just my opinion on what we're seeing in the crypto space, and also hearing from you as well. So if you're watching this live, be sure to use this live chat, and I will just discuss with you everything that's going on in the market. And if you're watching this afterwards, I'm going to leave with you timestamps. Give me a little bit after this is over. I'll leave you timestamps as well. But first, I want to start off. Hello, wow, there's a lot of people. Welcome, welcome. First, I want to start off with just looking at the overall high-level market stuff, right? So we broke all-time high yesterday officially, which was great. I was spending all day kind of typing out posts, congratulating everyone, being like, all Bitcoin holders are officially in profit when we broke all-time highs, right? And you know what? That made Michael Saylor and Nayib Bukele, who's the president of El Salvador, they were geniuses. They bought near like the regional lows, and everyone was like, wow, what idiots. They're going to like ruin their company. They're going to ruin their country. They turned out to be big-brained genius moves with diamond hands, right? So some applause to them, and applause to all of us too for being holders. And that's why I did another poll with everyone on my Facebook group, on YouTube, on Telegram group, saying, where do you think Bitcoin, how high do you think Bitcoin will go in the next, like by end of year or the next 6 months? So I have those results I want to share with you. But first, it's been kind of clawing back a little bit. If we go look into Bitcoin right here, it's been kind of grinding down in the past day. This is just 1 day view. See, we had that all-time high yesterday and then kind of like grinding down a little bit more. You know what also surprised me was that alts, I thought it would be Bitcoin season. So a lot of my swing trade balance, I went completely into BTC, even though I usually swing back and forth into alts. But alts had huge pumps yesterday, like 8 to 20%. Solana had a huge pump. It kind of went down a little bit, but it's still doing really well. And like Terra, yeah, a lot of ones. So this is the 1 days. They're down a little bit, but it's quite interesting. And people aren't surprised at this pullback either. But give me a sec. Let me just take a sip real quick. But before we dive into all of these, I want to give a quick shout out to one of our channel sponsors. They're called CoinMe, and they are a crypto cash exchange. So you can go to like the Coinstar or MoneyGram machines or whatnot and trade your cash for Bitcoin and vice versa. Now, of course, they have a fee. That's how they make money. But you don't have to wait like a 5 to 7 day period to withdraw. That's like if you want it really fast. In the US, by the way, go to your nearby places that offer CoinMe. You can go to coinme.com. And one thing they're doing is they have a sweepstakes or a giveaway. I'm going to leave you links down below if you're interested. But it's weekly, and they're offering, or they're giving away one grand in Bitcoin to one lucky winner every week through like the end of December. And you just visit the link below, fill out your info, and you're entered. Really simple. And then you can do more stuff to get more entries, like engaging with their social media and whatnot. So you can just check that out down below. and it resets every Sunday night, I believe. And yeah, that's it. And then now let's go to my, oh wait, I forgot to completely share that. It's right here. This is what it looks like, the link that I leave you down below. But let me go check out the live chat real quick to see what y'all are chatting about. Let's see, subtitle, stock to flow. Yeah, yes, Seb, I don't like stock to flow, but Plan B is trying to make the case that he's right about it. So I'm going to kind of touch on that in a bit. Okay, so price predictions by the end of the year. Write in the chat, if you're here with me right now, what you think Bitcoin's high will be by the end of this year. Is it going to be between or less than 80, 80 to 120, 120 to 200, or 200 plus? Right? Write what you think for the all-time high for by end of year, or maybe just the next 6 months. And I'll show you what other people wrote when I did 3 separate polls. Okay, let me show you guys. But I want to hear your things as well. Okay. So this is one of them. Let me make this a little bit smaller so you can see. Okay, this is from a YouTubers, creators, Telegram group. Okay, so these are the other YouTube channels you watch in the crypto space. They are in here, and I got 16 results. There's way more of them, but you know how Telegram is. And this is this year, how high? A few less than 80, the most, and this is what I voted for, 80K to 120K, 120 to 200, some, and then none over 200. Okay, this is this year. And one sec, let me show you another one. Okay, this is on our YouTube. Some of y'all even might voted for this. I don't know if you remember, but it got over 1,000. Let me zoom in a little bit. It got over 1,200 votes, so it's quite a bit. And once again, 80 to 120K. I believe the question here was next 6 months and not end of year. So it's a little bit different question, but I think next 6 months is more likely to be a significant regional or macro peak. So it seems like people are saying somewhere in maybe 100K. Some people are saying this, and then a few, no new all-time highs, bold choice, because we already did pass it. So these people are wrong or trolling, right? But this is the breakdown. And then the last one is on my Facebook group. I know some of y'all are in there as well. Here it is. This is 6 months as well was the prompt. 120 to 200K. Crash, yeah, some people wrote some troll answers, but most people think it's between 80K to 120K. It's going to be the regional peak. But I want to note here that, unfortunately, us retail investors don't always know what's going to happen, right? We're not good at predicting things. So usually the crowd is wrong. And the whales, the people with the inside information, they're the ones who make out with a huge profit, right? And we're left holding the bags. So I want to warn you here that just because the wisdom of the crowd votes in this particular manner, it doesn't mean it's going to be right. It may way overshoot this, or it may undershoot it, or it may get here, but in a way that none of us predict. Right. And of course, some people are going to predict it because people have predictions for every scenario under the sun. Right. So some predictions are going to hit, but that doesn't mean they're geniuses. That means they're pretty much lucky. And that's exactly what I potentially feel about Plan B stock to flow that I'm going to get into later on in the stream. OK, but first, I want to take a brief look at what y'all voted for in the live chat. 82K Come on, I know y'all can get some more votes in. But in the meantime, one sec. Let's see. One other thing I've been looking at is Bitcoin dominance, and I made a graph about that I want to share with you real quick. Where is it though? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Ah, right here. Okay. Okie doke. Let me switch over to here. Okay. This is a screenshot I made of Bitcoin dominance. And as you can see, it's been showing no chill here. For like the past month or so, BTC dominance has been on a rocket ship from its previous double bottom, first bottom, second bottom. I'm not really a chart trader, but people say this is a really common sign of like a reverse. So Bitcoin dominance has rocketed, and I tried to eyeball test some resistance levels here and here. It looks like it's broken through, and if it gets past like 49.50-ish, it could rocket to like the mid 50s to 60s or so, Bitcoin dominance. So don't get kind of caught up in altcoin bags and waiting forever if Bitcoin is continuing to rocket. Right, let me take a quick look at that actually. Let's see. Okay, trading view Bitcoin dominance is the best way to do it. Advanced chart. Oh wow, alts came back strong. You see this? This is the daily chart. Alts came back strong, but Bitcoin might start to rocket again. And let's zoom back. You see this massive downtrend since 2021? Oh, it's crazy alt season. Now, can Bitcoin reclaim these levels as heavy resistance around the lower 60 levels? Honestly, I could see it go here, but I'd be surprised if it like broke even higher, just because there's so much going on in like DeFi, layer 1 protocols, and things are really different than back in like right here, 2018, 2019. It's much different crypto world. So that is something on my mind in terms of BTC dominance. And that's why I'm also heavy Bitcoin right now. Even though I do want to get back in altcoins, especially the DeFi 2.0 projects I've been looking at. Okay, let me see. 40K, 100K, Loop Ring, Doge GF. I like Loop Ring, but it's been really underperforming. 98 420. Pullback for Texas, Chinese New Year's. Seb, yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Okay. So, stock to flow. You know I've been a long-time critic of that. And let me go to Plan B's page. Actually, I have to switch accounts because I think he blocked me for giving criticism about his intellectual dishonesty. Let's see. Okay. Okay, where is his... Ah, right here. You all know stock to flow, right? Do I need to show... let me show that chart anyways. Just for context. Okie dokie, right here. This is stock to flow. Basically, it just, the variable is like the Bitcoin emission rate. You know how there's a halving, right? That's why it jumps. Divided by like the overall available supply, the amount of Bitcoin out there. That's why it changes, and it's kind of followed this decently well. Not too bad, but I strongly disagree with it, because if you look into why he made a case for it, he had some advanced stats models, like it's called co-integration, but that turned out to be completely disproven. And then so he made a new model saying that it's S2FX, and it has to do with gold or silver's market cap and Bitcoin jumping clusters. But people also analyzed that and showed it was completely nonsensical. And note that if you know statistics, you'll know that like 3 cycles following it isn't really anything statistically significant. It could just be noise, right? So that's not good and proper stats to look at this and be like, oh, we can predict Bitcoin's price based on this. I mean, sure, I think scarcity can have a factor in driving Bitcoin's price, but definitely not the only aspect, which is what this model is kind of saying. And then he was really scared at this point right here, because he's like, dang, if it stays across for too long, his model is broken. But lo and behold, it started whipping back. But if it starts dropping again, then his model is going to be like disproven by its own data, right? But he also wrote that he wrote a while ago that worst case scenario is October over 63K. And he said that we hit it. So he kind of did a little pat in the back for himself. But I think this doesn't make sense. Let me see if I can find this. Okay, right here. I'm confused. Are your predictions at the month end price, or just the price that will be hit at any point within the month? If it's the latter, not really impressive. You could have picked any figure between 43K and whatever the max figure is by end of month, and then claim to have nailed it. And then this person says it's the minimum value at the monthly close. That's how he understood it. If that's the case, the monthly close is not done yet. Bitcoins can still correct in the next, 10 days. It's the 21st of October. In the next 10 days, and it could end under 63K and prove him wrong. I actually hope that happens, and then rockets after, just so that people can just get away from this worthless and tricking people model. And don't get me wrong, I'm still super bullish. I still think we can get super high, but I just don't think this model makes any sense and has any kind of fundamental backing. Definitely not by statistics, not by comparing to gold or silver. And it's going to break, just a matter of when, hopefully sooner rather than later. But let's see. So let's see what everyone's saying. Plan C correction. Okay. Some other things I want to chat about is the flushing out the leverage and black swan events that no one's talking about, and the next cycle, right? Okay. Let us look into. So if you don't know, I don't know if y'all remember, but a lot of the previous huge crashes are flushing out the leverage in the system, right? When there's too many people going like 10x long, 100x long, 50x long, whatever, the market tends to flush them out by having a big crash to like liquidate all their longs. That's just the incentives, right? And you can go to like Bybit and look at their funding rate to see that. And it tells you funding rates in green color, it's bullish. funding rates, red color is bearish. The stronger the color, the sentiment, the darker the color. Positive funding rates suggest speculators are bullish, and long traders paid funding to short traders. So everyone's bullish. Negative funding rates suggest speculators are bearish, and short traders pay funding to long traders. So everything is above neutral. It's positive. People are going long. Let me see. Bitcoin funding rates. A good way to see what the chatter is to see funding rates still a bit irresponsible, indicating further punishment for bulls / late longs. Bitcoin and ETH may need to take a breather here to allow rates and low time frame momentum indicators to cool down before the next rally. And we're seeing funding rates are through the roof as leverage traders join the bull trend. That's what we're seeing right here, right? A lot of positive high funding rates. 0.01% is neutral, but above it, it's getting high, which means longs are paying shorts. And then right here, same thing. Funding rates are getting high. Will that be a problem even though we're at an all-time high level? So this person is wondering if it's going to be a massive long squeeze. One thing I want to chat about though is the upcoming cycles. Wait, let me kind of... People are making the case that we won't have the canonical 4-year bull bear cycle that we know so far in the short time in the crypto space, right? And I think they might be right, but if they're right, this means a few things for us. One is that it's not going to drop like 90% plus like it did before. But on the other hand, we won't get those absolute gems. People who bought some like legit projects like Aave or some other ones that really took off at the depths of the bear market literally made 1,000x gains. No joke. Just look up the price back then and now. But the issue is if we don't have the traditional cycles, if it doesn't go as high and also doesn't go as low, we really are it's going to be harder to get those opportunities. But on the other hand, things aren't going to be as boring in the crypto space, right? Like I know a lot of viewers leave when things are just boring and going down. And same for us content creators, it's not as great. So maybe it is a good thing if we don't have, whatchamacallit, if we don't have that traditional cycles. Let me see if I can find this. Okay. Okay. Where is it? Ah, okay. Here we go. I found it. Let me show it to y'all. This is by Ari Paul. He writes, we probably have another 3 to 10x in crypto market cap. That's easy beta over the next 5 years. But we're past the point where you can just throw a little money into a few blue chip assets and produce lifetime wealth over a few years. The easy money now, building. So if we have the lengthening cycles that other channels talk about, just less volatility and longer cycles per se, then I think Ari Paul will be right that it's not going to go more than like 10x in the next few years, right? Or else it'd be insane, like $100 trillion market cap. That's not reasonable. So it's not going to be as easy to just buy those blue chip assets at the depth of the bear markets and produce like 1,000x gains. That's something on my mind as well. But like I said, more interesting in the crypto world, right? It's going to stay more interesting. One thing though I'm wondering is about the Fed, right? Because I think that's one thing we're not paying enough attention to is if they decide to move on all the inflation that's happening and they tighten or they taper their purchases, they taper their quantitative easing becomes quantitative tapering. And if they decide to raise rates sooner than 2023, that's their interest rates, then it could cause a market crash. And if that's the case, I don't think Bitcoin is spared. So that could throw a wrench into the normal operation of Bitcoin. Because, I mean, Bitcoin, has been freaking SPY stock. Let me just show this chart too. Okay. Right here. This is the S&P 500 SPY ETF. Right? And Bitcoin was born here. And it's been a non-stop bull market, pretty much. Ignore this pandemic crash. Non-stop bull market since. So what happens if this goes down massively? Right? Bitcoin dropped 50% in one day when that happened last time over here. If all this talk about a super cycle, all this talk about lengthening cycle, less volatility, Bitcoin still is a risk-on asset, right? It's not a boring, stable coin like gold is. But if anything happens here due to the Fed's actions or whatnot, I think that will throw us off our otherwise path. Or maybe you can get lucky and it could time up with after a Bitcoin blow off top, and then we can sell some and lock in some profit. Right? Let me know what y'all think about this though. That's been something that's really on my mind. Massive futures cleanse. Yes, it did drop. Bo Murphy, it did drop. Let me show this to you all. Binance, US, Bitcoin. I never seem to catch these. I should do this more often because I do use... Look, flash crash. Bitcoin prices crashed 87% in a minute to 8,200. Algorithm bug at an algo trader is what they said. But it dropped to 8,200 and then bounced back up. That is a fat finger sell if I've ever seen one. Pretty crazy. And I didn't set any laddering buy orders down here, but that would have been amazing. We should do that more often, shouldn't we? But then that means we have to keep cash in there instead of just being all in. So yeah, that's quite interesting. Okie dokie. Well, let me just give a last shout out to CoinMe real quick, if you guys can stay with me. And also please give us a like. Please give me a like if you like this live stream. And I want to do them more often, mainly just to chat with y'all. I know you watch my normal content on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, but this is just more casual way to share my opinions of the markets and see what y'all are thinking and what y'all are interested in as well. But yeah, don't forget this CoinMe sweepstakes. They are running it. I left a link down below, and you can these Coinstar machines, right? We've all seen these if you're in the States at your Walmart or grocery store, pharmacy, whatever. And they're doing that giveaway every week. It resets every week. All right. I had a great time with you guys. Hope to catch y'all next time.